Right. So I just clicked recording for those who want to watch the replay of our masterclass. And so, yeah, just give me a second because my YouTube stream is still loading. So I wanted to make sure that everyone will have the chance to watch this, whether or not um, they are in my email list. So yeah, I think everything is good. So, okay. This is my first time streaming on YouTube, guys. So please give me grace. um, and also pray for me because this masterclass is going to be so jam-packed with value for you. For busy women, especially as those of you who are aspiring course creators who want to be able to create and launch your online courses so you can multiply your income and impact. And so if you do have questions or anything, feel free to leave them in the comments. If you're watching the replay, then feel free to hit reply on my email or watch the YouTube stream as well, and you can comment there your questions, and I will be happy uh to advise and give you my thoughts and answers on your questions. And so, yeah, I actually don't know why it's not loading on my browser, but it says here. Oh, there. I did not mean that. Got it. Awesome. So if you're watching right now, let me know where you are watching from. What's your name? And how do I call you? Next time, I think I should have 3 screens so that I will be able to have my notes up and then my YouTube stream and then the comments and then the actual like presentation. Wow, this is really a learning opportunity, you guys. So if you're watching, please comment down where you're tuning in from and what's your name so that I will be able to recognize you, acknowledge your presence here. But for those of you who are in my email list and who have received a link to the Zoom, then please join the Zoom because I would be happy to have you in there as well. So yeah. Okay. Let me see. So, okay. I'm just going to check in every now and then. Oh, hi. Hi, hey. San Jose represent. Yeah, so I will turn off, or at least I will check in the comments on the YouTube stream every now and again so that I will be able to check your comments as well. But because I do have only one other screen here, and I do have to have my notes up, so yeah. And my browser is not working. Wow. Holy Spirit, please protect this space right now against enemy attacks, against Wi-Fi problems or whatnot. But please do let me know if there's any issue whatsoever. You guys hear me okay? I think so. Yeah. Um, okay, so let's get started. Why did I say that like that? Okay, so let me pull up my slides. Okay, awesome. So Welcome to my very first free training for this month. And so obviously this is not my first training, first free training in my business that I have done, but this is the first free training that I have done in a couple of months now. So welcome to the Hustle Free Course Creation Masterclass. This is a workshop, a masterclass for busy, aspiring course creators. And I'm guessing that most of you who are, not even most of you, but all of you who are watching this are planning to create and launch your own online courses, whether pretty soon or in the near future. And you're watching the replay because you just wanted to catch up on the masterclass. So this is just one out of 3 free trainings that I will do. And so these trainings are bi-weekly. So the next training would be after the week after next, and then the next training after 2 weeks after that. So this is the first, and welcome. I am Myrra Kate, and so let me just quickly introduce myself. Okay, so for those of you who don't know who I am, if you're watching this, if you've just perhaps run into my YouTube stream, again, this is my very first YouTube stream, so please be gracious. um, but if you haven't also watched my YouTube channel, or if you haven't yet come across me in my website and in all my social media platforms, then hello, my name is Myrra Kate. I am a kingdom-driven entrepreneur, online course creator, and strategist and author. And I founded the Myrra Kate Online Educational Consultancy Services. So in my business, in my company, the Myrra Kate Co., I help kingdom-driven women coaches and entrepreneurs get their courses done and ready to launch in just 40 days without stress and overwhelm. And we do that through my course creation done for you services and my now upcoming program. And so I will talk more about that, but this is not like a webinar type of thing where you're not really going to learn anything and I'm just here promoting something. Nope. Don't leave just yet if you think this is what it's going to be, because this is really going to be value packed. And I truly sought the Lord for what I'm supposed to say and teach and encourage you about in this free training in the Hustle Free Course Creation Masterclass. So please, please stay, because I do know that this is going to be valuable and impactful for you. And so, what is my mission? The Myrra Kate Co. is focused in helping women around the world multiply their income and impact and steward their God-given gifts so they can create ripple effects of positive transformation. And so I truly believe that we are put here in the world for a purpose, right? And if you're a Jesus follower, if you're a believer just like me, you do know that our general purpose is obviously to glorify God, but then we're also made for specific purposes, for specific roles to play. And so if you are in this, then I'm guessing that God has given you the desire in your heart to be able to use whatever expertise, gifts, talents, skills that you have right now to equip and empower other people, to share your expertise so that other people can have their own testimonies as well, right? And that's how we multiply our income and impact, right? And so I don't know if you've seen me in any of these publications, but if you do, I am actually in the Yahoo Finance. I was featured in Yahoo Finance as one of the top course creators and experts to watch out for in 2021. And my book is also featured in the Manila International Book Fair. So all of that said, that's who I am. So are you guys ready? Are you ready to get on with the meat of this masterclass? Comment ready in the chat. Yeah. Okay. Oh, now I'm getting the hang of this. Feel free to comment ready in the chat. I do know that YouTube is a bit late when compared to Zoom. So I might be able to see your comments late though. Just a disclaimer. Anyhow, I'm gonna move forward. But yes, ready. I'm like, I feel like I'm getting crickets just because like it's late. Just because the chat is late. Oh gosh. I don't know, man. How YouTube streamers do this. This is just amazing. Okay, but this is definitely not gonna be the last YouTube stream. This is just going to be the beginning, guys. Okay, so now that you know who I am, let's talk about what you are going to be able to do or get after this masterclass. And so after this masterclass, you will be able to transform your fixed mindset into a growth mindset with the help of biblical revelations and principles. You will be able to draw inspiration from real life testimonies and how they shifted from I can't to I can. And then you will be able to, most importantly, acquire actionable skills and implement them to regain control of your time so you can create your course even as a busy woman. So if you're ready for that, again, comment ready. And if you're watching the replay, then also your engagements will be and your comments will be really, really appreciated. Awesome. Okay, so let's now go to the meat of the masterclass. And before diving deep on the strategies to be able to create your course, even as a busy, aspiring course creator, let's talk about the most important thing first. Have you ever asked yourself, is it possible? Is it really possible to create my course amidst my super busy schedule? It always feels like Myrra, I feel like I'm always running out of time. I feel like I'm always in a rush. I feel like I don't even have time for myself anymore because I'm always just focused in like my business and my family and taking care of my kids. And if you've said that before, then I just want to encourage you that yes, it is possible. But more than the encouragement that I do have, I want us to seek the Lord about this because he gave us a manual in this life, right? And it's in the living word. It's the light unto our path, unto our feet. And so we look at the word for guidance and ask the Holy Spirit for revelation. And that's what I want you to do right now if you're taking notes. Also, just silently whisper, Holy Spirit, lead me and reveal things to me that I need to know to be able to move forward in your call for me. If you want me to create a course, if you know it is in your will, then lead me to the next step. And so pray that. And yeah, let's look at the word. Okay, so Romans 12:2 says, do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Then you will be able to test and approve what God's will is, his good, pleasing, and perfect will. There's so much going on in our lives, but this is exactly why I feel like strategies are only second best. Our first go-to is the revelation from God on how he can change our mind, our mindsets when it comes to this. And so this is why it highlights here the be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Because think about it, how can we really represent God and steward his gifts that he has given us if we are operating by the patterns of this world? If we are not like allowing the Holy Spirit to transform the renewal, transform our minds, to renew our minds, right? When it comes to his call for us, his assignments for us. And I want you to realize this. If the enemy can't destroy you, which he really can't, but he will try to destroy us, right? He will distract you. Again, if the enemy can't destroy you, he will distract you. And that includes all the busyness that is going on in our lives. Sometimes we feel like, we have all these like check boxes and like things to tick off in our checklist for the things that we have to do every day. And then at the end of the day, we realize, oh my gosh, I haven't really sought God today. I haven't really thought about, seeking him and spending time with him, or reading the word, or reading my devotional, or just like praying at least for 5 minutes today. Or I haven't really, because of all the things that I have going on in my life, just so I think I will be able to survive in this world, but I feel like I'm not even able to like step into the assignment that God has for me anymore. And that's what the enemy wants for us. Because here's the thing, he is trembling right now with the idea that you are going to step into your assignment and use your God-given gifts, and hence glorifying God, by being able to share everything that you have, including your expertise, your talents, and gifts. If you're called to create a course, then the enemy knows that course has the power to change people's lives, has the power to lead people closer to God. And he's trembling by the idea of that. So even before you step into it, he's like trying to like put barricades after barricades after barricades just to stop you, just to destroy you right at the moment, at the turning point. Because he knows that when you're right there, when your course is out there, or when at the very least, when you start taking steps to create your course and start building that momentum, he knows you're going to be unstoppable. He knows that right there, you're going to walk with God, and he can't destroy the idea of it anymore. It's not just going to be a course idea anymore, but it's a course in the reality where it's really truly making an impact and helping you as well make an income, so that you are able to touch and free yourself, free your family from, I don't know, generational chains of poverty, from generational chains of not having the time freedom to be able to spend with kids, so that they will grow up to be the type of men and women who God really wants them to be. So think about that, right? If the enemy can't destroy you, he will distract you, and he will put a lot of stuff. He's already done that. He has social media. Not that everything is a distraction, but if you think about it, some of these things, if used more than they are used, more than what or how much time we're supposed to be using them, they are indeed distractions. And so we can be running around getting things done, checking things off our to-do list and things like that. But I want to ask you, what's the point of it all if we're not doing what God calls us to do? What's the point of taking the things that we are doing every single day? And at the end of the day, we feel like we're really not pleasing God. Of course, we are pleasing God in a way where, as we are right now, we are daughters, and if there are men here or who are watching, sons of God, right? We are His children, definitely, and He's pleased with us. But there is power. There's fulfillment in being able to do what God is calling us to do, and it is very empowering. And sometimes we feel like we're in this cycle of just survival, and we're just going through our day-to-day lives in autopilot, and we feel like we're not really making much of an impact, right? So what's the point of it all if we're not doing what God calls us to do? So another verse to encourage you is Luke 10:38-42. Let me just quickly read it. As Jesus and his disciples were on their way, he came to a village where a woman named Martha opened her home to him. She had a sister called Mary, who sat at the Lord's feet listening to what he said. But Martha was distracted, that's a keyword there, was distracted by all the preparations that had to be made. She came to him and asked, Lord, don't you care that my sister has left me to do the work by myself? Tell her to help me. Then the Lord answered, Martha, Martha. It's like, I can like hear that in my spirit. I just feel like whenever I read, the Bible, it's like if Jesus is calling out someone's name, and then I change it to like my own name, like Myra, Myra. And it's like, there's so much conviction. But then the Lord answered, Martha, Martha, you are worried and upset about many things, but few things are needed, or indeed only one. Mary has chosen what is better, and it will not be taken away from her. So change that name, Martha, to your name right now and read this verse and see how powerful it is. It's like Jesus talking to you one-on-one. It's like, insert your name. For me, Myra, Myra, you are worried and upset about many things. So busy, running around, always rushing to the thing that's you're going to the destination where you're going to. Then you're thinking, but few things are needed, or only one actually, which is him. Mary has chosen what is better, and it will not be taken away from her. And so my revelation here is that we should make the intentional decision to quote unquote slow down and do what Mary did. Yes, we're doing all these kinds of stuff because we're trying to please and our family, our clients, our boss, our colleagues, our friends. But again, we should be living with the audience of one, and that's him. So again, what's the point of doing all these things if we know that the thing that God is calling us to do, that we know is going to lead people to glorify him, that God is going to use for us to become his vessels of his light and love in this world? We're not doing that, right? So that is the challenge here. And I feel the conviction. I felt this conviction before. I still feel it now. And I hope you do too. So before moving on, let me just see if you have comments. Okay. So How does this make you feel? Let me know. Let me know in the comments whether you're watching the live now or the replay. Let me know your thoughts on this. Or if you do have questions about this, um, I love I would love to be able to discuss these things with you. So the next thing here to think is that, again, we shouldn't be conforming our minds to the patterns of this world, but be transformed by the renewal of our mind, right? So our old skin, our old wineskin, our fixed mindset would say, I can't find the time. Myra, there's no way I'm going to be able to find the time to create a course. But the growth mindset, the mindset that is focused on God's best for us, says, I can find the time if I prioritize. Right? So I want to first preface this to say that it is okay. It is okay if you feel like you cannot find the time. It is okay to feel like there's really no time to be able to do such stuff because maybe you're a mom and you have a full-time job, or you're working 2 jobs just so you can be able to, provide for yourself and your family, or you just have so many clients, which is good. But if there's a deep wanting, deep longing in your heart to create a course that you cannot just shake off, I would actually like bet that 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 is God trying to lead you to what his next best step is for you. And I can say that because that's exactly what happened to me. And so I don't want you to go here, and I'm not here to make you feel bad about like not feeling like you can't find the time at all. I just want to encourage you that there is a way out. That if there's a will, then there's a way. And if we wanted to, if there's intention on our end, then we are going to be able to find time. And that takes intention. That takes commitment. Sometimes it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be like we'd feel like throughout our course creation journey, it's like we're on a cloud 9. No. But the good thing here is that we're walking in this with God. So if we feel like we can't find the time, but if we take the step, I promise you, he's going to give you the strength and the energy and the will to be able to do it, For God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and sound mind. So declare that. Let's declare that. For us to have this renewal of our minds, right? But to also give you more encouragement, I want to share these 2 stories of testimonies, because again, if they are able to do it, then so can you. If God was able to do it for and through them, then he can do it for and through you as well. Who's to say that he won't? And he can't, right? There's nothing that our God can't do. Anything is possible in him. So here's my story. Let's talk about my story first. Okay, so my story was that back in 2019, I was still a blogger at that time. I was not monetizing my blog at all. I was making 0 in my blog. I was having some X deals with brands, and they would send me products for me to review and all of that. And I was a graduating college student at that time. I've had my blog for starting, I think, 2014, but it was only 2019 when I started delving deep into this. At that point, I was writing my thesis like that. like in that table in the first photo, you can see that I put just for me to be able to stand because I'm always in my computer, and for me to be able to stand and, stretch out myself, then I would put this little table, like bed table, um, and put it on top of the table, the dining table, and that's where I would work. That is my desk, guys. When I was still in college and I was sharing this apartment with three other um, women who were in the same university as I am. And so I was a graduating college student. Writing thesis in itself was stressful. And I even had a part-time student assistant job so that I will be able to, make money for the expenses for my blog and save up for, the things that I needed for travels, things like that. But then in January 2019, what happened was I thought I had a flu. And for the next 3 days, I was just like drinking my meds, things like that. But every single day, I felt weaker and weaker and weaker to the point where I'm like, "Ugh, I don't really think I can get up this bed anymore." Um, and my mom told me at that time, maybe it's best for you to go to the clinic now. That maybe that's not even a flu anymore. And true enough, when my blood test results came, my platelets were almost at like an alarming low rate. And apparently I was diagnosed then by dengue. And that's something that I don't know if you guys get it there for those of you who are watching in the United States, or in Europe, in Canada. But in tropical countries like the Philippines, it's a huge thing. And there's really no cure with it. You just like let your immune system fight off the virus. Is it a virus or a bacteria? I don't know. Don't quote me on that. I'm not a medical student. um, so I was diagnosed with dengue. I had to be brought to the emergency room, and I was there for I think 7 days for a week. And that was January 2019. Mark the date here. But then the third photo, if you can see, is a screenshot of my Instagram story. February 22nd, 2019, I launched my very first online course. The course that I was procrastinating on for more than half a year, I was able to do it and launch it in just a matter of less than a month. How did I do that? Number one, the commitment. When I was in that hospital room, I'm staring at the ceiling, because you've got nothing else to do. And I still felt very weak. I was like, God, if this is the end of it for me, I don't think I've lived my life to the fullest. So I was faced with because the doctor told me that it was my platelets were so low that it was actually life threatening. Like if I didn't go to the clinic, or if I went to the clinic to get checked a day after, I might not have survived it anymore, because people die from dengue. And again, there's no actual medicine for it. I don't know now, but 3 years before, like 3 years ago, there's no cure for it. So when I was faced with the fact that life is very short, I promised God in that hospital room that I am going to live every single day of my life, living it to the fullest and making sure that I am glorifying you. Because this life is short and I really don't know when it's going to be the end for me, right? So I had that conviction. And so right after I got home, I got to work. I'm still recovering from dengue. It wasn't like I was already like, let's do this. But I was doing stuff for my course bit by bit until I was able to finally finish it. And obviously through God's grace, I was able to do it. So that there's an encouragement for you. But if you're not yet encouraged with that, I have another story for you. This is my client, Alexis. Her course was the Brides Academy. She was an influencer and a wedding planner expert. And Alexis was a newlywed. She was a first-time mom, student, I think a medical student as well, and a business owner. So she had a lot of things going on, but she really wanted to create a course so that she doesn't need to do one-on-one with her clients, which she doesn't have time for, especially because she's now taking care of her newborn and she really wants to be a present mom. So she didn't know where to start in creating her course. And she also knew that she did not have the time to do everything by herself. So she found me. She reached out to me. She worked with us at Myrra Kate, and she got her online course done in a matter of weeks without stress, overwhelm, and huge time commitment. So you might be thinking, Myra, she outsourced a lot of her tasks to you. So that's not really counted. But here's the thing. Even just hopping on the VIP strategy session, which was around 3 hours, and finding the time, most of all, to record what I think was 15 video lessons inside her course, just finding the time for those can be hard for someone like her. But she did it. She was able to find time for it. And I know this because I have a lot of things going on in my business. I have my book, I have my clients, I have my done for you services, and so that's not even including my personal life, my relationships, my social life, things like that. But for her, she's a newlywed. She's a first-time mom. I'm not even I'm a mom and a newlywed yet, but I'm like, sometimes I feel like I'm very busy, right? So just imagine, and you might be at that point as well. I'm probably speaking to other moms here. Comment in the chat below if you're a mom as well. But if you are, then this is an encouragement for you. Instead of like comparing ourselves to people who have done it, why not think about it like, if they were able to do it, then I am going to be able to do it too, right? So don't just take my word for it. Here is what Alexis said. Working with Myra was very easy. That's what I wanted. I did not want complicated. I did not want stress. So between being a newlywed, first-time mom, student, and a new business owner, I was not interested in hiring someone who I'd have to babysit. During our initial interview, Myra assured me that she would be able to take over and wouldn't need much from me. She did not tell a fib. She was in the driver's seat the entire time. Myra's professionalism and apparent knowledge, made me feel comfortable and relaxed. Typically, I feel the need to micromanage the people I hire, and I never once felt the need to step in with her. I was often behind or busy focusing on other things, and she kept me on schedule. She said that herself. She was often behind or busy focusing on other things. But with commitment, she was still able to do it. With the right accountability and guidance and support, and someone who's an expert like me who was able to help her, she was able to do it. So if God did it for us, then he can do it for you too. Awesome. So I just want to repeat this again. The fixed mindset would say, I can't find the time. Growth mindset would say, I can find the time if I prioritize. So what's it going to be for you? The fixed mindset or the growth mindset? If you're my people, then we're rallying for the growth mindset, right? So let's move forward to the strategic part of this masterclass. I'm telling you, this is not just like a promotional thing. I'm really doing this because I want you. I hope that you're taking notes. Please let me know. Are you taking notes? Let me know in the comments. Let me know if you're watching the replay. Comment it below. Are you taking notes? Because I'm inviting you to take notes. I have my notebook here, and I'm even the one speaking. I don't even know how I'm gonna take notes from this. Maybe I'm gonna watch the replay myself and learn from this. Okay, so give me a second. Okay. Total self-plug, by the way, you guys. My book is called Fate Steps. It's available on Amazon. You can go to fatesteps.co if you want to get a copy of it. It's about overcoming the biggest roadblocks to true success as a 20-something. So yeah, that resonates for you or your kid or anyone in your family or a friend of yours, then get it for them. Great, great Christmas gift, especially because Christmas is coming now. Okay, so how do you really create your course if you're a busy woman and if you feel like you don't have the time? I have 3 tips for you. And these 3 tips, it's not just like tips, but more like phases. And you're going to learn more about that. So the very first tip is to prioritize, right? Because a while ago, we were talking about the growth mindset says, I can find time if I prioritize. And so the very first step is actually prioritization. And the number one thing that you have to do now, your assignment is 1, to do an audit exercise. Track in the next 7 days, track your activities and identify the time wasting activities or habits that you have. And you can do that if you're a digital person. You can do that by downloading a Toggle Track. So this is what I use in tracking my business activities, but I also recommend that you can have one and then you can use it for your personal activities. Just track your activities, like, every second or every minute you're like updating, not really every minute, like perhaps after every task that you're doing, right? Or like, you brought your kids to their soccer practice, or you went to work, or you had commute, or you read a book, things like that. You can, or you opened your Instagram account and scrolled for like the next 1.5 hour. Go put it in the tracker. If you're an old school, no problem, because you can do it with just notes. Your notepad, your handy notepad, right? No excuses. And then, yeah, just identify. And then after tracking, identify the time wasting activities that you have. Time wasting, meaning it's not really being too productive for you. Or you feel like you could have done better in spending that time, right? Because time is even more important than money. We can't take it back. Money, if we lose it, we can be able to take it back, make it back. But time, once it's done, it's done. So it's very important that we are very intentional with where our time is going. Just like how intentional we are with where our money is going, right? So here are some examples of time-wasting habits or activities that you might be experiencing. And I wanted to put this out here for you to have an idea. So one is excessive social media scrolling. We spend long hours scrolling through social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all of those things without a specific purpose. That's the thing, without a specific purpose. If you're a social media manager and you're doing it for your client, that's not a time wasting activity. You're doing it for research. But then, if you are doing it mindlessly or without a specific purpose, then it can really consume significant time and it can be time wasting. Endless email checking. Frequently checking your emails throughout the day, especially non-urgent ones, can disrupt your focus and waste time. Procrastination, delaying tasks, by engaging in non-essential activities or constantly putting off important work that can lead to significant time loss. So if you're constantly putting off important work, such as creating a course, think about it now. Like what's in the place of creating your course? Where are you spending your time other than the important work for you? It's not even about just about creating a course, but other more important work that you think you're just putting off, right? Multitasking can be a time wasting activity, especially if you're juggling multiple tasks simultaneously, which can seem productive, yes, but it often reduces efficiency and it prolongs your completion times. Because when we, like, for example, when we're not in a flow, like we are, writing a blog post, let's say, and then we're multitasking, we checked our social media platform because we got a notification, or we're watching a show as well on Netflix. And then we have to like go back and put our attention again on writing our blog post. It's like our mind can't focus, so our attention goes to so many things that instead of our attention being 100% in one task, it's like divided into several tasks, like 30%, 30%, 30%. So, you know what I mean? Yeah. So, overcommitting as well, taking on too many responsibilities or projects simultaneously, it can spread your time and your energy too thin. Unplanned TV or streaming. Unplanned. That's the keyword here. I'm not making you feel bad for watching shows, for binge watching Netflix or whatever. But if it is unplanned and you, or maybe you planned for like 5 minutes and then now it's like it went on for like 4 hours, right? So, without a specific plan, it can waste several hours for you. Perfectionism can be another thing. Spending excessive time perfecting the small details instead of focusing on completing tasks, right? Done is better than perfect. And I'm not saying this as an excuse not to make quality, excellent work, because we work, right? We work at our tasks not for people, but for the Lord. So we still have to produce quality, excellent tasks. Sorry, quality, excellent outputs. But if we are always trying to perfect the small details, trying to overanalyze, it might be wasting your time. Unstructured meetings, attending meetings without clear agendas or defined goals, excessive shopping or browsing, just spending hours shopping online or browsing some e-commerce sites or websites without the intention can lead to unnecessary time loss. Unfocused reading as well can be like reading, spending excessive time reading articles, blogs, or books without a specific learning goal. So the key thing here is really without intention. If you're doing these stuff without intention, then it might be wasting your time. Inefficient commuting, spending long hours commuting without utilizing the time for productive activities, such as listening to educational podcasts or audiobook or a course that you are taking, right? You can listen to it while you are commuting or while you are driving somewhere. Unorganized workspace, wasting time searching for misplaced items or in a cluttered workspace because it's not organized. There's lack of organization there. So, again, these are just examples. There could be many other stuff that you would find is unproductive for you that you finally realized because you finally track your activities. But that's exactly the importance of tracking your activities. Okay, so the next stuff to do in prioritization, the first step in creating a course, even if you're a busy woman, is Prioritize using the Eisenhower matrix. So I don't know, you might have already seen this somewhere before or not, but the Eisenhower matrix is basically like 4 squares and then urgent, not urgent, important, not important. So if a task is important and urgent, you have to do it, right? It's the tasks with deadlines or consequences. So these are the things that you really have to do now. If it's urgent and not important, these are the tasks that must get done, but really don't require your specific skill set. You don't see them as important for you, but it's urgent. So think about it. Think about how you can delegate it to someone. Can you maybe find someone who can be able to do it for you? Right? If it's not important and not urgent, delete it. These are the distractions and unnecessary tasks. These are the things that you have to accept are things that are just wasting your time. Delete it. And then in the not urgent, important area, these are the tasks with unclear deadlines. You don't really have a specific deadline for it yet, that contribute to your long-term success. These are the things that sometimes we really procrastinate on because we don't feel the urgency. That's why sometimes it's best to set a goal when you're going to be able to create your course, right? But if you're thinking, I just want to be able to create a course before 2023 ends, but you have to see it as important now. And so you know that it contributes to your long-term success, because once you're able to create this course, you're not anymore just focusing on one-on-one coaching programs, which are, taking so much of your time. So now you can get more time back, so then you can get more people inside your course. And once you have more people inside your course, then it's just a passive income stream. You have the option not to show up in your course like every week. You can show up like once a month, just like answering questions of your students, right? Depending on the delivery of your course. If it's a DIY self-paced course, good, better. You don't really have to once you're making the sales here in your course, then you can focus on growing your business, focus on your family, focus on other more important things, focus on your hobbies, right? Focus on traveling. So these are things that contribute to your long-term success, but we do not feel the urgency right now. So the thing that we have to do here is to decide when you're going to do it, schedule it, right? So usually your course is there in the important, not urgent section, right? And so the next step after prioritizing using Eisenhower matrix is to decide or schedule time for your course creation. Ask yourself, when are you going to commit to doing it? Which are the times on your calendar when you have most time available or can let go of some activities, including the time-wasting activities that you have identified in the first step? And can you maybe consider time blocking? So this is what a time blocking looks like. For example, if you just need to be able to create, content for your course, you can do that for the next 3 hours. Just focus on it. And then email and messages can be the next hour. And then, research for your course content can be the next 2.5 hours. So you're blocking it. You're not like doing, recording your course content and then doing research and then creating social media and then recording again and then creating your social media promotional materials. And then again, it takes so much of your attention and so much brain work for you to be able to focus and work at flow or in flow. So that's the power of time blocking. And maybe you can consider that, right? After prioritizing, that is the next tip, is to streamline. After prioritizing, again, the next step is to streamline. And the first thing to do is to break down the tasks. I don't want you to feel too overwhelmed about, I want to be able to create a course, Myra. Where do I start? So sometimes you feel like it's such a huge goal, creating a course, that it feels overwhelmed. It feels too far off. But if you actually break it down, then it becomes it becomes more doable for you, right? So I want to introduce the MCR SSR course creation model. This is going to be the model that I am going to introduce and talk about in the Courses with Confidence program, something that I will talk more about later. But this is going to be the framework that I teach my students with when it comes to course creation. And this is also the model or the framework that I go through with my clients. So I know MCR, SSR can be, although it's easy to say and remember, but if you want mnemonics, if you're a mnemonics girl like me, you can, remember, make courses, reach and serve, shine radiantly. Don't you just love that? Thank you, Holy Spirit, for that. So make courses, reach and serve, and shine radiantly. MCR, SSR. So what can be included in each? Break down the task. You create a course, and then you break it down to this framework of mapping the course, creating the course, recording the course, setting up the course, selling the course, reviewing the course. Underneath those phases are now even more tasks. So these can be like projects under the huge goal, right? So underneath that project is the activities that you have to do. In mapping the course, you're going to have to do market research. You're going to have to position your course. You're going to have to figure out the pricing of your course. You're going to have to figure out the packaging of your course. What are the inclusions and bonuses that you're going to include in your course? In creating your course, you're going to have to create your course outline, and then you're going to have to create your course content. If you like scripting, then you're going to have to create your video scripts. If you have slides, then you're going to have to create and design the slides. In recording, you're going to have to record each lesson. In setting up, you're going to have to set up the sales sequence of your course, the sales pages, things like that. You're going to have to outline or write the copies for your onboarding email sequence. See, there's a lot of tasks, but it becomes even more doable because now you're not just thinking, I have to create a course. Now you're just focusing on the next step. I have to map my course. And then after you map your course, I have to create my course now. And then after I create my course, I have to record my course now. So see, break down the tasks. And then you can batch the tasks, meaning you can group tasks together. That's what batching is. So, for example, you're doing content research, and you're doing recording sessions and editing. So you can group those into tasks and schedule them in a matter of consecutive days, for example. For example, this week, I'm just going to focus on recording my course content. That's it. I'm not going to focus on creating social media graphics. I'm not going to focus on engaging with people yet on social media. I'm not going to focus on launching it yet and doing a webinar or Instagram lives. I'm just going to focus on recording my course. That's it. So that's batching. And then another tip is to let go of analysis paralysis. Just do whatever is at the path of least resistance for you? What is the next best step that doesn't require you that much brain work? And start there. And after you cross it off, then you're gonna like take another step and then another step. The most important thing here, why you have to let go of analysis paralysis, is for you to start building the momentum. That's the important thing here. Because if you do the littlest thing, the simplest thing for now, and you just commit to doing it and becoming 1% better every single day in your course creation journey, I promise you, even if you're busy, you're going to be able to create and launch a successful online course. Yeah. And then you might be asking, Myra, what can I do when I find myself overthinking and overanalyzing stuff? I want you, if you're thinking that way, I want you to remind yourself of your deeper why. Why are you doing this? Actually, I want you to comment that down in the comment section. If you're watching this live or watching this replay, comment down what is your deeper why? Why do you even want to create a course? If you say, I want to make money through my course, why do you want to make money? And then I want to be able to help my family. Why do you want to be able to help your family? Is it because you have this deeper conviction in your heart that, you want your kids to be able to have a better future, more freedom, more choices for them? Remind yourself of your deeper why. That is a second step. That's a part of the second step, which is streamlining. Okay. And then the third step is to leverage. Prioritize, streamline, leverage. Leverage comes with different parts. So leverage what you have now. That means the existing content. Do you have existing content that you can teach in your course? Let's say you created blog posts. You have written blog posts or written Instagram captions before where you taught about the step that you're gonna go through in your course. Can you maybe use that content and put it inside your course and delve deeper in it inside the course? So now you don't have to think about the steps because you actually have that content already. You have the steps outlined. You just have to delve deeper and teach more about it inside your course, right? Because you've taught them that what, now you have to teach them the how inside your course. Leverage templates or pre-made content. There are so many templates out there, like things like sales page copy, sales page designs, course slides designs, promotional materials, graphic materials, graphic posts. All of those things you can buy now. And so there's really and that's if you can afford that. But then if you can't, there's Canva. There are so many templates there now, right? That you can just customize. So all of those things will actually be included in my course as well, in the Courses with Confidence program, because I do know just how much power there is and how much like peace of mind you will have once you don't have to like start from zero or start from scratch anymore. You just have to customize stuff, right? And then another thing is you can leverage AI and softwares. See, I know that there are some people who might feel uncomfortable with AI because sometimes it really feels icky. I felt that way too before, until I realized that, until I had this revelation from God. Actually, there's no shame in using AI because it is just a tool. You are the author and it is just a pen. A pen cannot write a book without the author. So AI, if you use it rightly and properly, you will be able to do tasks much easier. And that includes other softwares now. Other softwares now also include AI. Like, for example, Descript. If you want to record your course content and you upload it in Descript, then it can write the transcription for you, and then you can cut stuff there, like cut off the filler words, things like that, without in just one click. You don't even have to like go through each like video anymore to just remove the filler words. In just one click, you can remove it, right? So there are softwares like that that makes it easier for you. And these are stuff that I will also teach actually in the Courses with Confidence program, because I do know how valuable it is. It is valuable knowledge. Leverage other people, outsource and delegate if you must, like what Alexis did. She just accepted that, okay, if I really want to be able to create a course, and if I think I really don't have much time, I have a little bit of time, but I really don't have much time to learn everything from scratch, then she just outsource and delegate. Yeah. And then leverage community. There is power in accountability partners. Iron sharpens iron, right? So I do know that there is power. Like for me, someone's keeping me accountable on YouTube so that I will be able to consistently upload my videos. I actually ask my email list, can you let me know if I'm not being consistent on YouTube? That is the reason why I feel like I'm keeping some people accountable for it. And I don't want to let them down. So I'm really going to try my best to be consistent. That's exactly the power of community. Right? Okay, so I hope that this has been valuable for you so far. Definitely let me know as well. Let me know your questions, things like that. Okay. So let's just recap a bit. We talked about the fixed mindset to growth mindset, from thinking I can't find the time to I can find time if I prioritize. We talk about the biblical principles that are related, or verses that we can get revelations from, to overcome this hurdle of thinking we don't have the time to create our course, we don't have the time to move forward, to do the things that God called us to do. And then we talked about the 3 steps to really making a course, creating your course, even if you're a busy woman. And that includes prioritizing, streamlining, and leveraging. So I will make the replay available as well, so that you can get back to this as well. Okay, so I want to ask, what are your biggest aha moments? Please comment them down, whether you're watching from YouTube. No one's really here with me in Zoom. So just if you're watching from YouTube, then comment them down. And I would love to hear them. What are your biggest aha moments? For me personally, my biggest aha moment when I was writing, you would think I'm the one teaching here, but honestly, I'm just a steward here. Like this business, the Myrra Kate Co., I don't own it. God owns it. I only steward it. I only represent God here. Yeah. So even in the things that I am teaching, God makes sure that I am learning something as well. And right now, my biggest aha moment is the YouTube thing. So this is my very first YouTube stream. But also the aha moment that's related here is, in Romans 12:2, how, excuse me, how really the enemy tries to, if the enemy can't destroy us, he will distract us. Because if he distract us now and to the point where we're not even doing the things that God is calling us to do, then it's like, okay, my job's there is done. That girl's not gonna go anywhere. She's just gonna stay there where she's at right now, and that's okay. Like, I've done my job. But we don't want that. We're representatives of the kingdom. We're kingdom driven entrepreneurs. So we have a mission to take back the territory. And the online course industry, you guys, are filled with people who are not even, who are doing dirty, misleading, bad stuff, witchcraft even. And that gives me conviction. That gives me conviction to be able to do this stuff, to spread this to as many people as possible, not just to lead them closer to God, but to help them create results for themselves, because they're going to put a seed. God has planted a seed in them. But maybe, just maybe, if I can help water, if God can use me to water that seed, then it's going to bear fruit. It's going to bloom. Right? So that's my biggest aha moment. What's yours? Share them in the comments. Share them in the comments. Okay. So now, I want to personally invite you to consider joining the waitlist to my upcoming program, the Courses with Confidence. This is the program that I've been talking about, um, uh, I've been mentioning throughout this free training. And so if you've gotten this much value in this free training, just imagine what it's going to be like, how fun it's going to be inside the Courses with Confidence program. So this is a program that helps Christian women to effortlessly map, create, record, set up, and sell their online courses, granting them more time, financial freedom, and the ability to impact others with their God-given gifts and expertise. And this is the program that I wish I did have before I created my very first online course. And God really, when he gave me this assignment, it actually felt really big. But then he led me to the steps that I needed to take to be able to create this program for you. And because I really wanted to cater to your needs, to different learning types, and different priorities and budgets, then I will be offering a DIY self-paced package for this. If you just want to be able to, go through the entire course and do it by yourself all on your own, good. I will also be offering a coaching package with this, where you will be able to um, join the group coaching sessions to get your questions answered. You will be Facebook group community. You will be, you will have accountability, leverage other people, leverage accountability, leverage community, I mean. And lastly, there will also be a done for you aspect or package when it comes to this, where some of the aspects of creating a course can be outsourced to us, done for you. And so these are 3 different packages that will be available to you once the Courses with Confidence is up. And it's actually going to be launched officially to the waitlisters on November 8th. So it opens on November 8th for those in the waitlist. Let me tell you about some of the benefits for the waitlisters. One is massive discounts. You are going to be able to save big, like up to $1,000, save big that much when you enroll during the launch, just because you are in the waitlist. And 2, special one-on-one bonus. The first 10 to enroll in the Courses with Confidence program will snag our coveted bonus, the Course Creators Flight Plan. This is a personalized session with yours truly to kickstart your course journey. And then you will also get priority access because there are limited spots available in this first batch of the Courses with Confidence program. And they are only reserved for you. Not just for the waitlisters, but for the people as well who are not in the waitlist, but there are only limited spots. So if this sells, if the spots are sold out just in the waitlist launch, then other people who are not in the waitlist um, won't be able to enroll in it anymore. And I plan to just open this uh so the next time I think I'm going to open slots for this will be next year already. And so if you really plan to create your course before the year ends, or at least have the know-how so that you can start creating the course by January of 2024, then you should get in the waitlist now. And you can do that by going to, actually, I didn't put it in the slides. My bad. But you can go to myrrakate.com/waitlist. myrrakate.com/waitlist. Let me just put that in the chat. /waitlist. myrrakate.com/waitlist. So that's MYRRAKATE/waitlist. So yeah, I am looking forward to have you in there. And that's it. Thank you for joining this free training. And if you have questions, put them on the chat and I will be happy to answer them for you. Again, this free training is hosted by yours truly, Myrra Kate. I'm a kingdom-driven entrepreneur, online course creator, and strategist and author. And I'm also the founder of the Myrra Kate co-brand, the Myrra Kate Online Educational Consultancy Services brand. So if you have questions, the floor is open. I'm going to wait maybe 1 or 2 minutes because I know the YouTube stream is a bit late. So yeah, it is definitely late. I think it's not just late for like 1 or 2 minutes. It's late for like 5 minutes. That's why you guys join me in Zoom. If you're watching the replay now, join me in Zoom for the next two other next week trainings. There you go. So yeah, just gonna wait and see to give chances for people to ask questions. And I do need to, I'm just digressing now, just to keep you guys entertained. Again, I just want to give a chance to the people in the YouTube live because I know it's late. Let's do a worship song. Let's play one of my favorite worship songs now, like hype up worship songs. I'm just talking in YouTube, guys. I love the feelings. When all the faces just think I love the feelings. The thing that me that is of the truth. Got a chance for me, but so everyone around me can have everything they need. Got all the social you gotta have everything they need. That's what everyone around me can have everything you need. And all the space to take you got for everything. I got everything they need. But all the space to take you got for everything they need. Where am I at on YouTube now? I think that's it. Okie dokie. Oh, by the way, this is Bless Me by Maverick City Music and Kirk Franklin, if you want to look it up. But thank you guys so much for joining me in today's free training. If you're watching the replay or whether you're watching live now, I do hope that this has given you value. And I'm looking forward for the next training. The title of our next masterclass is Course Creation Simplified for Non-Techies. For those of you who think that you are not too tech savvy to create a course, this is for you. Okay, so that's it for today's masterclass. Thank you so much for watching. And do let me know if you got value from this. You can email me or tag me on Instagram if you're watching the replay. And I will see you guys soon.